It doesn't have to be a business too. It can be just sort of, like general stuff
Summer
in the hobby
League,
that's caught your
AFL.
attention or caught your mind. We're pretty lowbrow, man. So just something that's on your mind. Like, yeah.
Hobby hangouts coming up. Oh wait, you're in South Australia, aren't you?
Well, I'm in South Australia. I haven't been to a hobby hangout yet.
Whoa.
Are you going to come over and join us in Melbourne?
I want to.
We've got August. It's like a month and a half away, I think, ours. Our next one.
Well, I'm pretty sure I can just go there anyway. I don't need to be invited, do I?
No. I think there's tickets and stuff.
You have to buy a ticket, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
You're
that line last time was insane.
You're not that gangster,
No. No.
Go to the front of the line and just be like, "Do you know who I am?" Just walk in.
Don't you know who I am? We did a trade day today, actually.
Oh, cool.
How was that?
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, we'll have. I was going to say, do you want
to?
Russell, do you want to kick off the show and we'll just get started?
Yeah, sure.
There's plenty to chat about. I reckon.
Yeah, that's heaps.
This is going to be a 3-parter, I reckon.
No, let's keep it. Let's keep it to an hour. Let's keep it.
You know how much I can talk, right?
Oof.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just putting this in, and then we are good to go.
Where are we?
All right.
Nice.
35?
I think so. Was last week 34?
You say this every week.
You know we should be keeping track of which episode number it is.
Is this your episode number?
Speaking of keeping track...
It's episode 35.
We owe you an apology too. Like, we lost track of what we were doing with the sponsorship, so...
Oh, that's all right.
Did you realise what we'd done? We like these monkeys aren't like mentioning us anymore?
No. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't. No.
Okay, good. All right, well, I'm sorry.
No, I'd stopped listening every week, so I didn't know we weren't shouting you out.
We actually owe you an apology. Yeah, and it wasn't done deliberately. We're just idiots. Like, it wasn't malicious. Yeah.
No, I would never think that anyway.
All right.
It's fine.
All right.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 35 of the You Can't Comp This NBA podcast. I'm here with Adam Amy. Adam, how are you today, mate?
Fantastic, as always.
And we have a very special guest this week. It is Mr. Kahlil. Kahlil, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How you going?
Good. And Kahlil is actually our second time around on the show and better known for your hobby shop, Slabbed, in Adelaide.
Yes, also our sponsor, Russell. You might want to mention that bit.
Yeah, that is also true, which we were just discussing off the air. Yeah.
How you doing, Kahlil?
I'm good, thanks.
Lots to talk about tonight. I from what we've worked on, there's heaps to talk about.
Yeah, looks like it. The list is building up.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
A couple of things up the sleeve.
Yeah, let's get to it. So I think the first thing I want to talk about this week is PSA by the numbers. So basically it's all the numbers of the cards that have been graded in June of 22. So the numbers are absolutely out there. So PSA have graded 887,000 cards. CCG, this is the one that I was the most surprised about, 176,000 cards. SGC, 100,000, and then Beckett at 72,000. So Beckett's actually down 18%.
Yeah, and
in the month of June.
Does it surprise anyone just the sheer volume that's going through PSA compared to anybody else?
Well, I think the way that they advertise and I think the way they handled the shutdown that Beckett did, instead of shutting down, they just increased their fee to a point that
it was
only high-end cards were going there. And I was thinking about this the other day. I think the benefit of them doing that is that when you go to eBay or, online, all the high-end cards that you do see, they're all in PSA jackets.
Yeah.
But I think that's a really important thing. And then there was nothing in Beckett at all. So I think Beckett going from clearly the second person on the rack all the way down to fourth is a massive deal, I think, actually. Kahlil, what do you think about these numbers?
Well, during the time when the prices went up, we were still sending were still sending cards to PSA, and you could still actually get them back, even though that there was an enormous backlog.
Yeah.
So you could send your card and get it back. You were paying through the nose for it.
Yeah.
But they were still getting cards out. So I think that's probably helped them along this way. I don't know what was happening with Beckett at the time. I don't think it was the same.
My understanding
case.
of Beckett is they actually stopped taking submissions altogether, and more than that, they actually sent people's cards back.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's probably contributed to them to, dropping down, right down this list.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not surprising that SGC is where it is on the list. And CSG is that's pretty surprising.
I was surprised about that too.
Is it because of the trading card grading, you reckon? Because it breaks it down to say 85k sports and 91k trading cards. So that's like Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, like your trading card games and things, and I guess Harry Potter cards or.
They started accepting other kinds of trading card game, because I think it was just Pokemon.
Yeah.
Initially, and then they started doing possibly Yu-Gi-Oh and Dragon Ball, and so they just opened up the gates a little bit. And then maybe that's why they've been getting more cards.
Because I was going to say that's over half of their submissions are on the trading card side.
Yeah. Would this include their comics and the rest of it?
It says items graded, so we actually, it doesn't break it down.
That's a good point, yeah.
All data sourced from POP reports. Beckett POP report data should be treated as representative. There can be meaningful lag between items being graded and it showing up on the primary POP report. So they're not finalized numbers, but this is what each company is expected to have graded. So there might be a slight change there.
Can we just take a slight step back? Kahlil, you just said something that was interesting then. You said that CCG are now doing eBay grading. Is that what you were saying there?
Oh, I didn't mean eBay grading. They acquired that deal via eBay.
Oh, the CCG authenticating. Yep.
Authenticating the card. So they got, I don't know, obviously some kind of kickback from eBay. So that would be, a huge injection of funds into their company.
Yep.
More resources mean more ability to, I guess, get to open capacity and things like that.
Yeah, so maybe that's also contributed to them to be able to complete this many cards in that month.
Yeah.
Have you experienced anything as far as the eBay authentication since they've implemented it?
Me?
Yeah, you personally.
No.
Okay, I'm curious on the process now. And whether or not they get to advertise that, because you've just, I'm thinking, if I'm CCG and I get to authenticate cards, do I get to spam the people that I'm authenticating cards for and say, if you want to get it graded, you can go through us, or we offer grading services?
Oh yeah. I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah, it just might be free advertising. That might be part of the eBay deal. I'm speculating, of course.
Well, a lot of people know about them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's actually a very clever partnership they've forged there. Sort of funny in my head. I think it's a little bit to do with like having conversations with you about SGC, and also probably the media that I'm exposed to. Like as a podcast in particular, they're sponsored by SGC, and they'd been really pushing them in terms of the return on investment and also the turnaround time. So to be honest, CSG or CCG wasn't even really in my mindset at all. So to see them sort of sitting second on the perch where I was expecting Beckett to be, that's a really interesting little wrinkle there. So maybe this is actually someone that we need to, look out for. Look, I have a CSG graded card in my collection. I bought one for dirt cheap. I think it was $12. It's got a base insert of Halliburton in it. I just wanted to get one in my hand and have a look at it, and I don't particularly like them, to be honest.
Which slab did you get? Because they recently changed them.
It's sort of a flat. This would be maybe 12 months ago, so it's sort of the flat white with the sort of the green part on it.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
To be honest, I probably
since then.
Have they really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably got some pretty negative feedback and then had to.
Yeah, I'd prefer SGC, Beckett, and PSA over that, to be honest. So, but if they're going to be rolling out massive numbers and you think that they're a reliable company, and if the customer service is good, have you had any experience with their customer service or their turnaround times, mate?
Yeah, I have. We actually had a dealership with them, CSG and HGA, and they're nice, but when it came down to the crunch, they kind of just dropped off at the very end when we were just finalizing the end of the deal.
Sure.
And I think it was around the time where these companies were being inundated with a lot of cards.
Yeah.
And dealing with some bloke at the bottom of the earth who's
in Adelaide.
They
don't even know where Adelaide is, do they?
No. I think it just wasn't a priority for them.
Yeah.
And then just after a couple of no responses, after having like really good communication and phone calls, and then nothing because something else took priority, it just would have been good to say, hey, we're going to have to park this for the next 2 months. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's definitely disappointing.
Yeah, I didn't get that, and I was like, we're not adding you.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, it sounds like they dumped you for eBay. So it's not like, it's not like they dumped you for some.
What are you wasting your time over here for? Let's go for eBay.
You'd be more concerned if they stuck with you and gave up on eBay, right?
Yeah.
Now, Card Porn have actually because this is on the Card Porn Instagram.
Yeah.
Now on the tech side of it, it's actually got an interesting little note. So they went through the monthly stats, the June recap, and then it's got here TCG/Pokemon continue to be the story of 2022, and it was the most graded category at every company with the exception of SGC.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it looks like people are starting to get all of their trading cards graded, no matter what they are. Is pretty much what you're sort of like. Trading card games are the new hotness as far as getting them slabbed. What have we got? Recap. PSA have done over 5.1 million for the year. SGC have graded 558k for the year. Beckett 442, and CCG didn't have pop reports in place at the start of the year, so there's no firm numbers. So you can definitely see the decline there with Beckett.
Yeah, well, they shut down, so that would explain that, right?
Even after reopening, though, you know what I mean? Like, they haven't really built back up.
And I understand that. I think as customers, why would you want to dip back into a company that literally just shut down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They changed their logo.
They did. Yeah.
So that's where that's what they were doing while they had nobody submitting anything.
So staying on the Beckett vein, there's a fake Jordan story that's been circulating around with Card Porn. Look, I've spoken a bit about Card Porn and how sometimes I think they're a little bit too
harsh,
critical, or too harsh on some people or some places. And look, they're an anonymous source. My gut feeling was that they were somebody that was aligned with PSA. I probably still believe that to be true, but in saying that, facts are facts. So we can put this onto our socials so that everyone can read it. It's a really interesting read, but basically the crux of it is that they've been grading fake Jordans. BGS have been made aware of it and essentially haven't done anything to rectify it. And I think the thing at play here, what separates Beckett from other grading companies in my mind, is that if PSA grades a fake card and it's been made aware of that, the person who submitted that card to be graded actually gets compensated for that. SGC offers the same deal. I'm not too sure about CSG, to be honest. Kahlil, you might know that, but Beckett in this instance do not provide that service and actually essentially just whitewalled the conversation. It didn't go any further.
I don't know about CSG.
That's okay.
If they do that or not.
No, that's totally fine, mate. I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, that's okay. PSA definitely do.
Yeah.
They definitely do that. And it's one of the reasons you pay a premium
Yep.
with them.
Yeah.
Is that they will buy it back.
Yeah.
If it's wrong.
Yeah.
Even if the card gets graded from a 10 to a 9, if it gets regraded at some point for some reason, and they're saying it's no longer a 10 or a 9, it's now a 7, they actually pay the difference.
Really?
Yeah.
If I got a 10, I'm not sending it back to them to look at it again. I'm not going to lie to you.
No.
Why are these people sending cards back in? That doesn't make sense.
But it's part of their, I don't know, maybe you've cracked the case and you're getting it reheld.
Oh, yeah,
right.
Something
like that. And then they've assessed the card and gone, it's...
Actually.
Actually, it's not this anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
But they have that in place, and that's why you pay a premium.
Yeah.
So my thoughts about this is actually quite scary because, I'm not a super sleuth when it comes to detecting fakes, and if I purchase a Beckett graded card or a PSA graded card, I'm of the belief that it's legitimate and it's authentic. So for me, I find this issue very challenging. And look, I don't want this to be tough about BGS versus PSA, but this really, gives me the heebie-jeebies. And if they're not going to accept responsibility on it, it's not. That's not great for me in terms of who I want to grade with moving forward.
Yeah, I'm a little bit happy that they're at least ragging on someone that's not HGA and sort of they've stepped away from them, poor buggers.
Just ask this week. Next week, back to HGA. Don't worry.
Is it the card or the slab itself that's fake? Because I know that there was fake BGS slabs.
Oh wow,
that also was an issue too.
And there's a very minor way to tell a BGS slab from a fake slab with the serial number at the bottom. Yeah. There's a number at the bottom of the slab, and in that number there's a tiny point, a tiny dot, and the fake ones don't have it.
Of course, yeah.
So this article actually touches on both fake cards and also fake slabs. So what you've picked up then is correct, mate. Yeah. Any final thoughts on this ad?
I just think until the hobby is regulated, no, I'm not even going to start with that. There's no way to stop it. These are items that are worth a lot of money. Like I've been through it with trading cards, like counterfeit Magic the Gathering cards that are worth thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And the fakes are so good that they're hard to pick up. It's not always the greatest fault. But you're always going to have... The counterfeiters are going to get better and better and better. Do you know what I mean? Like the the technology they use to detect fakes. Is this probably another reason we've got CCG doing what they do when they authenticate cards with eBay? Is because there's such a big chance of fakes going around.
Especially if you're buying raw cards.
Yeah. And the funniest part is there's a lot of experienced people in the hobby. But there's also a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm going to go and collect sports cards because I heard they're going to be worth lots of money. Gary V said so. And jump into the hobby really naive and just jump on eBay and buy this stuff. And they're the ones that are going to get sucker punched. And there's no way to stop it.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about then, I agree with that. But I think... I'm not calling myself a veteran or someone who's got more knowledge or whatever, but it's not like this is my first day, on the horse either. And
you're not buying a BGS 9, so don't worry about it.
Look, but I think if I did purchase this card, to be honest, I wouldn't have known it was fake. Being brutally honest.
Yeah,
and I think that's the part that really troubles me the most here is because...
I think there's more to it as far as the lack of accountability from BGS.
And that's the next part of it, isn't it then? So, okay, so you get yourself into that situation, you say, how can we resolve this? And then the company that you would expect to help you resolve it then won't. I think, that, again, that makes me quite concerned.
Yeah.
So, would I have a different experience with PSA or SGC? If the answer is yes, well then maybe this is the way that we should be heading down towards. Like maybe that is better for the hobby.
Yeah.
Going back to your previous point about buying raw off eBay, so that is essentially the reason why they're doing it, is to stop basically dodgy deals, chargebacks. That's a massive liability for eBay, and it also was for PayPal. And then it's not great for the consumer at the end of the day. So essentially, if you're getting your card verified, that's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Kahlil, any final thoughts on this one, mate?
No.
Great.
Yeah, no, all good.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to a more positive story. So $18 subs for PSA have been advertised, and it's all to do with the Nationals. So
yeah,
there's a few things on here that you do need to talk about. It's not as simple as just an $18 sub, but the offer is good until the 31st of July. So you do need to get yourself organized and set up. Exclusive to Collectors Club members, 20 card minimum, declared value limit of $199. And this is something I want to talk to you about, Kahlil. 150-day estimated turnaround time. However, reading online, 150 seems to be very generous. It's more likely to be
you wait until they edit. When they edit it and it says 150 month turnaround time because of the sheer volume that gets submitted.
Yeah, so reading online, it's more seems to be 360-day turnaround time is more practical or a more pragmatic sort of expectation. So, So Kahlil, talk to us about your perspective on this, mate, because this is perfect for you to come on this week. And
it is a good price point that we've been waiting for.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, a lot of people have been waiting for a decent price point to be able to put in cards that they wouldn't normally put in it. Even we had $100, and even that's probably too much. And then 55, it's still still a bit too expensive. But this one, it's probably right on the money for where everything is at right now. So it's a good deal. How it will impact. How this month of submissions will impact PSA, I don't know. In our experience, everything that we've sent to PSA this year has been coming back in the turnaround that in the turnaround time they've stated or less. That's pretty much nothing is blown over, aside from the stuff that's declared to be in the backlog. That's still going. We only have a few orders left in there. But anything new under the new pricing structure, they've been returned when they said they would be returned. So
that's really good news.
It's pretty good. I'm somewhat confident that this will be the same for these services. And I'm more inclined to believe that the time that they're stating might even just be overstated.
The 150 days.
Yeah. I've got a different view on it than the 300. Like it was more like 300. I mean, it's good to have that in the back of your mind because then, it's kind of expected to...
Expect the worst kind of scenario.
Expect the worst, yeah.
So from your professional point of view, what would you estimate it to be?
For me, I would say a little over 50%. So I would say maybe 80 or 85 days.
Really?
I would hope so. Yeah. Their entire goal from the very beginning was to not have cards more than 90 days. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is their goal for all their submissions.
Their in-house goal is 90 days or 85 days, and they're saying 150 so that they exceed the expectation?
So that they would exceed the expectation, and also, I guess, just to set the expectation. Because
set a realistic one in case you get overwhelmed. But
in case it gets overwhelmed. But I'm sure that they've scaled enough now to be able to handle... Well, I would hope that they've scaled enough to be able to handle an influx of cards again.
Yeah.
Because quite literally everybody says the same thing. I've got so many cards to send. I'm just waiting for the price to come down. That's pretty much what every man and his dog is saying.
Yeah. With regards to that, now, I don't know if you guys have talked about this last time, or it's a boring issue, topic. But when someone says maximum declared value of 199, what with 150-day turnaround, a lot can happen in 150 days.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, so your card could go from 199 to 1,099.
Well, if Jordan Poole silver prisms were worth what, $20?
Yeah.
Like at the start of the season kind of thing, and now he's $1,000 silver prism.
Yeah.
If it PSA 10. So at what point should I not be sending my card because it's over that threshold?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of speculation, so
because I'd be using this service for, say, a bunch of random rookies that I'm prospecting on that I think are a good investment because it's a cheaper price point, to get it graded. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
I'm obviously not sending... I can't send a bunch of my high-end stuff over because it's too expensive.
Well,
not at that price point.
Not at that price point, yeah. You could send them over, but not there.
Correct.
Well, you could send them there too if you wanted to. They'll end up just charging you later.
But that's the thing. Like, I submit 20 cards, and I get them at that $18. I'm like, yep, they're going to cost me $18 US to grade. It's going to be fantastic. And all of them come up as at their estimated value of $300 once they're graded.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm paying a premium?
No, they're pretty generous. Like, you'd actually have to spill over into the next category.
Okay.
And over it for them to charge you up. So if you've gone over to 300 or even 400, nothing's going to happen.
So if I've got like Derek White silver prisms, and after his amazing playoffs performance, then
you'll be fine, Ad. You're not going to be upcharged, mate. You're going to be fine.
I was waiting for Russell to bite on that one. You're right. By the way, there's no way it's going up. But it's just. It's
not. It's more. I would just try and think of it more of as a guide.
Yep.
That you're putting the right card into the right category.
Yeah.
And you're never really going to guess the exact value of the card, but you're going to get it thereabouts. And it's just to kind of show you that these cards for cards that are around $200, but you've got this card over here that's $800. That's basically what it's for. Maybe don't put that $800 card into that $200 category. It's best suited up here.
Yeah, but I'm saying like 90 days into, if it was a $100 card when I sent it, and then the start of the NBA season happens, all of a sudden this prospect rookie that's worth $100 is starting for his franchise, and they haven't lost a game, and it's now a $2,000 card.
Yeah,
I think in that instance you do get upcharged, but then you get upcharged
straight
away.
You know what? I'm flipping that because I'll probably get my money back. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty sure they will use the sales data at the time of.
Where do they draw that kind of data from? Like eBay? Is it?
Yeah, it does. It just comes straight from eBay. It'll come straight from whatever data they have on their site.
Okay.
And also the auction houses.
Yeah, of course.
A few times we've had to ask them when we've received upcharges, like, oh, how did you arrive at this value? And then they would just send us the data showing us, here's the last 4 sales for this card.
So if I bought that logo, that triple LeBron logo man the other day, and it had just been authenticated, and I wanted it graded because I didn't think it was good enough to just be authenticated, and I sent it back in, I'm not getting it done for $18.
You're not getting it done for $18.
I can see you smirk, Russell.
Yeah. You could probably contest it and see how you go.
Yeah, that's it. I'm like, come on.
Or you could send it. You could send it somewhere else that's not going to do that to you.
That's true.
It doesn't have to be PSA.
Yeah, that's right.
Send it to Beckett.
Beckett, apparently they'll be right. They'll put it in a fake slab. It'll be right.
So Kahlil, I did just want to clarify this. So correct me when I'm wrong here, or if I'm wrong. The declared value limit of 199, that's 199 USD.
It's US, yeah.
And then that's the raw price?
Well, it actually is the you can use the raw price when you submit it, but when PSA finish with your card and your card ends up at a 10 and the sales on that card ends up being $600, that's what they use. Yep, it's actually the graded. So you want to take your best guess at what your card would be worth after it's graded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to avoid the upcharge.
I think where I was getting confused was because I went onto the PSA site and they were talking about how you price your cards to send them in, and they actually suggested to use raw prices.
Yeah. So, well, most people would use a raw price.
Yeah.
But we tend to use what you think you would get.
Yeah.
Because we actually insure the card there and back. So if you write down on your form in the very beginning, $199, and your card ends up being a 10, that's coming back in that service level again. So we would.
Oh wow! So if it gets lost in transit on the way back, the insurer is going to pay out $199.
$199,
yeah.
So I'm looking at this from the wrong perspective. You're looking at this more from the greater sort of aerial view to make sure everything's okay, whereas I was looking at it at a sort of a too specific perspective. Is that what you sort of say?
Yeah, because obviously we want the insurance on the way back as well, and you want to insure as much as you can on the way back as well.
Yeah.
So we'll tend to try and estimate a grade and see where it falls in there. But ultimately, it's up to you where you want to put it and where you want. Some people aren't comfortable having a low declared value for a card, and they would want to bump it up because they just want to make sure I've got enough coverage there and back. But and other people are just plenty enough because they've been with us, for years, and they're comfortable just putting it into the low one. And if they get an upcharge, I get an upcharge. Yeah. So
I can't imagine people getting too disappointed when they get upcharged, especially if it means their current price of that card is a lot higher.
Is a lot higher. You do get some people that don't understand why they have to pay more, and you do get some like, why? They've done the same job. Like, it's essentially the same work. What does it matter if it's 10 cents or
the commission structure is different. Simple.
Yeah. But generally, no. Most people are excited.
Yeah.
Most people are excited to know that the card that they submitted, we had one this week, was the Rocks rookie card.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Yeah. That came back a 10.
Awesome.
And it went into the economy category, and that got upcharged to Super Express. So it's now like $5,500, $6,000 card because it's 10. But he had submitted that into the economy category. There was no guarantee that this card was going to be a 10.
Yeah.
So it didn't make sense to
grade it
higher. So there's situations like that where it's like I'm comfortable enough in this one.
Yeah.
And if it happens, it happens.
Listening to what you're saying now, I think I'm just going to submit them all at $199, and then if I get upcharged, I get upcharged. And
well, yeah, you can do that. And with that category, it's then, are you then comfortable waiting a bit longer to get your card back? And if you are, then that's fine.
I feel like I've been waiting sort of a year and a half already. So what's another 12 months,
Yeah. I honestly don't hope and don't think it will be that again, but I don't know. Keep it in the back of your mind.
Yeah. Final thoughts, lads?
Get those bulk submissions ready.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Giddy up. Actually, the Australian dollar's looking all right. It's under $30 to get cards graded. Let's go.
So, Kahlil, I feel like we've missed an opportunity here. Are you providing this service through slabbed.com.au?
Yeah, so you can use this the July PSA special promotion through us, and it's $36.95 per card. You can submit one card or you can submit 200 cards. It doesn't matter. and that will go right through until the end of the month.
Yep.
And all you need to do is jump onto the website, submit your card, and get them to us. And if you're in Adelaide, just rock on down to Weymouth Street and bring them in.
And when do I need to have my cards to you by?
So I should have that date in front of me.
That's okay.
I think I've got the due date. It's on the site. There is a page on our site.
Yeah.
Under the grading menu that says due dates, and it gives you all the due dates for all the grading companies and when we need everything by.
Yep.
1st of August. So it actually needs your submission in the system by the 29th of July, and your card itself we would need by the 1st of August.
Okay, great.
I might have to get off my butt and actually get some cards in.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
So
if you need some help.
We've got you as a resource now.
Yeah.
So staying with card submissions, I recently went through SGC submission with you. So why don't we talk about the SGC submission process?
Yes.
And I think also too, to keep this full circle, we did a promotion on your socials and also our socials to try and give it all a bit of a boost. And then each week we're giving away an SGC submission. So I think the promotion went pretty well.
Mm.
And I think that we've definitely got some more eyeballs on our socials. I think that's always really nice. Yeah. And from my perspective, I found the form very easy to fill out. And the thing that I liked about it is that each part of the submission, so for example, when my cards were received by you, when they were sent off, and then each 25% of the submission process, I got an automatic email to tell me where things are, and same as on the way back. So as cards were coming back to me, I was notified about that. That was quite nice. Probably the irony from my situation, I would say, is, and this has got nothing to do with you, Kahlil, this is all to do with me. I didn't plan when I sent my cards to you. So I wonder if I just missed the previous month's cutoff, because I feel like the time that the cards were sitting with you was probably about as equal time that SGC had my cards for. The grading time was, look, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would say off the top of my head, probably about 2 weeks. And
I can tell you.
Yeah, tell me, yeah.
Your cards were 12 business days.
Yeah.
So it's about right. It was about 12 business days that it took SGC to grade our order. Yeah.
So I think if you were, really looking for a nice tight time frame, this is my only sort of feedback to myself. I would probably just look at the submission times for Kahlil, and because otherwise your cards are basically just sitting somewhere for an extra, or in my case, I feel like it was probably 2 or 3 weeks, honestly. So, but definitely not. That's not a critical thing. That's more for my own feedback. And then
it was 2 weeks that they were sitting.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So I'll let you lads have a little bit of a chat. So Kahlil, talk to us about SGC.
Let's go through the process.
Yeah, and now it is weird that depending on when you get your card to us, if you're giving your card to us now at the beginning of the month for SGC, it's highly likely that we might actually have your card longer waiting to ship longer than it would take SGC to actually process, grade, slab, and return card now.
Oh wow!
So I'm not sure if you saw. Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw SGC's update this week. Was it this week? I'm pretty sure it was this week.
That's 100% the experience that I had, by the way.
Yeah. Well, this week SGC announced that they removed 2 of their service levels. The 10-day and the 5-day service level have been removed. And the reason that they removed that service level was because the standard service level is 25 business days. And they're effectively hitting the 10-day service level under the standard service levels. Their aim was to get down to 15 days this year as a turnaround time. And next year, their aim is a 5-day turnaround from when you submit your card. When
Interesting.
They get their card. Yeah.
But
So
how does removing those 2 levels improve their turnaround time? I would have thought that would make it worse, actually.
Because they're essentially charging people a premium to have their cards back in 10 days. Sorry. They're essentially charging people a premium to have their cards back in 10 days or 5 days, but the standard service level is pretty much accomplishing that anyway.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying, we're not going to charge you anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're not going to charge you a premium to get your card back in 10 or 5 days when the standard level, it's happening in around that time anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
So from here on in, with SGC, you're likely to see your times. This particular submission that Russell did, it was 12 days.
Yeah.
And it's going to become the norm.
That's the norm. So, it makes sense.
It's going to be normal, and it will probably get quicker. So I know that their goal is 5 days. So that makes that, you then start to have to rethink, 5 days,
that's so quick.
You can't even get that done in Australia.
Yeah. No, I can't get mail delivered in 5 days in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's pretty incredible.
Long term, is this something that I guess our friends at SGC are looking to capitalize on with regards to drawing more business, increasing the volume to reset those expectations, I guess? So the more volume they start turning over, the more their days will blow out a little bit, and then they'll be able to offer that premium service. Or offer an economy service that's got a longer lead time.
A longer time, but a cheaper entry point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But if they're getting that kind of reputation for turning stuff around that quickly, surely they're getting they're going to get some good a good reputation out of it and receive more volume.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, I think they've scaled pretty well. I think they can handle more cards, and I'm pretty sure the numbers that they have now are the most that they've ever had to deal with.
Yeah,
and they seem to be coping really, really well, and they want more. They do. Yeah, they want more cards.
Russell, you look very box-like over there.
Oh yeah, well, I haven't opened up my submission yet, so I thought I'd do it on the pod.
Of course.
You guys keep talking there. I'll start to open it up.
All right,
I can't actually remember what you ended up getting. It's a little while ago.
I just see an Australia Post logo.
That's an old age thing, mate. Let's keep it real here. So I'll make more of a confession to that. I can't even remember the cards that I submitted. I definitely submitted a Halbert and Genesis, and then after that, I actually can't remember the second card. I'm assuming it would have been a Fox.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. All right,
nice,
what have we got?
Box. Nice little thank you card.
Very nice.
How about that? That's better. Did you draw that, Kahlil?
No, our artist drew that. That's our business card. And there's a set of, it's getting close to 15 or 20 of them now.
Okay.
That's one of the last ones we have left, but there's a new lot getting printed.
Nice.
So should I put that away to be as a collectible?
Yeah, definitely.
Send it off for grading.
It's going to be worth a packet. There's a limited print run of 100.
Really?
Of that stuff.
How do you reckon it'll grade, Russell? You should send it to Slabbed and get him to send it off for grading at SGC.
All design.
Got a little bit of corner damage, actually.
That's all right. Maybe just put it in a slab then. Do you like the way I try to initiate like segues?
That was excellent, Adam. You should be in marketing.
I've been told I shouldn't be, but
alrighty, I'm just gonna rip these out.
Bubble wrap.
I'm not gonna do a fancy reveal. Oh, that's right. I'm completely wrong. So
that's not Halliburton.
This is a number Giannis, 96 of 99, 9.5.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Very nice.
Oh, 8.5 for the Genesis.
Ouch.
Okay. All right.
Still a nice card.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. Well.
Big reveal.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not too bad.
As I said, I'll have to get up off my butt and get some cards into.
Yeah, so thanks, Kahlil. That was lovely. Easy process. Yeah, absolutely no dramas at all. Yeah.
You weren't worried at all along the way?
Russell never worries.
Huh?
No, I do worry, but I think probably the thing that I try to think about is probability. So I don't know how many parcels I've posted over the years, but let's just say it's 1,000. I've only ever lost one parcel, and I've got another one currently, which is express post, but it's taken a month and the tracking hasn't moved for 2 weeks. So, out of all of that, I don't know. I've just got it's a very good hit rate. And I've got, to be honest, I've got other things I need to worry about than like if my mail's going to get there or not. I think generally the mail is pretty good, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it definitely does happen, and when parcels do go missing, you do need to start thinking about insurance and what are you going to do in these instances. So the next thing on our spreadsheet to talk about is a BGS submission planning from your company. So what's your thoughts in that space, mate?
Oh yeah. So one regular question that we get: are you going to send to BGS? Are you going to add BGS? And we have been talking with them all year.
Well, clearly they're not grading many cards, as we've just seen, so there's plenty of capacity for it.
Yeah, and the standard response I keep getting from them is come back to us next month. Well, we're still dealing with the backlog, and that's happened 5 times this year.
Did they make how many staff cutbacks have they made? Because they're not grading a lot. This is not. It just doesn't sound good for BGS.
Well, now what they've done, it seems as though they've matched PSA's service levels and turnaround times.
Yep.
So they've opened up their economy service,
okay,
which is what PSA have done, and they've said that that's 90 to 120 days. So you can access like the lower tiers to get your cards graded.
Yep.
I don't know what people's experience has been in using that service just yet, but I know that we have a lot of people that want to send to Beckett at the moment. And that's probably because they've been starved for the last 2 years and haven't been able to get anything there.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we've got we're going to do a Beckett run, and we've got a form, a registration of interest form.
Yep.
If anyone wants to jump onto that, I'll share the link. All you got to do is just fill in the link, just tell us how many cards you want to send and what category you want to send it in, and then we'll contact you and we'll actually get everyone together, and we'll work out the best and cheapest way to get your cards there,
to get it there
and back.
Nice.
So it's basically a group submission where everyone's going to contribute to paying for the shipping there and back. And I guess the more people that are in it, the cheaper it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then we'll take care of everything else, obviously, like all the forms, all the customs, all the insurance, all that stuff. But there's a fair number already, just after 1 week. So we'll run it again next week, and then we'll get a submission over to Beckett if anyone wants to get in on that.
There's definitely people who love BGS. There's no two ways about it. Yeah.
There isn't. No. Yeah. So Yeah, and it'll also be interesting. I haven't submitted to Beckett. Only on behalf of a customer once before.
Yeah.
But it was just a card. I haven't done a group submission with them before. So it would be interesting to understand their process.
Yeah.
And judging by their website and everything else, it doesn't look like it will be smooth.
Not me. Yeah, there's a reason they're fourth at the moment, isn't it?
I was going to say, and we're wondering why their submission numbers are dwindling, right?
Yeah.
It just looking at it all, it's just one of those things you look at and go, nah, I'll go somewhere else, or I'll wait for it to get better. But nothing's changed. It looks as clunky as hell.
Yeah.
And the good thing with PSA and SGC, they're actively always developing something and improving their processes, and it just gets easier and easier every single time you submit with them.
Yeah.
I don't know that for Beckett. It doesn't look like it at a glance. But
we'll see.
But that's also one of the reasons why I haven't committed to sending to them every single month. And
if the process is super convoluted, it might be every 2 months, because it might take you that long to compile all the cards and go through all the hoops.
Yeah, so we'll put the expression of interest out there this time, and then we'll do this one, and then probably in a few months again, if they're still interested in it, we can do another one.
Yeah.
But it probably won't be a regular thing from us at this stage.
But yes, expression of interest. Yeah, we'll pop the link onto our socials, just if anyone's interested in sort of getting one of those BGS subs done and being part of the experiment, so to speak. Click the link and see how you go. And we don't know how many days it'll take, because they're eternally working through a backlog.
Yeah, they're saying 90 to 120.
Cool. So this is the point where we're saying we're probably going to start assuming the worst and go 150 to 200, but unfortunately, I do quite like the BGS slabs, but they have been sort of letting people down of recently.
You can pay the premium if you want to, which is $255, and you'll get that back. Yeah. Quickly.
Pay for a premium service. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They treat the people that give them lots of money very well. Interesting that.
Alrighty, card encapsulation. Where are you at with that, Mr. Kahlil?
Oh yeah. So that's been a pretty long journey. So we're at the end of it now. We're just actually waiting for the machinery. So it's been packed and loaded onto the ship, and we'll be waiting. I think 2 months. We should have the machinery for that, and that's a service that we're going to provide our people that want to get their cards encapsulated, but not necessarily graded by a company.
Yeah.
But have them encapsulated.
Will they have a tag?
Yeah, they'll have a label. So that business card that you saw.
I was going to say Russell's going to send that back to be encapsulated. To get
done, yeah.
Yeah. So it's coming back.
The fella that drew that, is doing our labels.
He'll be able to do a matching label to the card that Russell's going to send back.
The first lot that we're doing will be for Pokemon. And
nice.
It will be... we mainly bought Pokemon slabs. There are some sports ones, but majority is Pokemon. And it will be aimed a label that would be attractive to kids.
Yeah.
Because a lot of kids really want a slab or get a card graded. And when they come in and they're there with their parents and we tell them, it's $55 or it's $100, it's pretty out of reach for kids.
Yeah. That's a lot of pocket
money. And mum and dad are generally going, I'm not paying that amount of money.
Yeah.
For you to get your bent in half Pokemon card graded.
Yeah. So this is it's something to cater for that group of people.
Yep.
But it also opens up a world of opportunities as well.
Yeah.
But essentially, initially, that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And we may entertain some soft grading, not with a number, but with something like a gold star or a silver star or a bronze star, just on the label itself.
Okay.
Just so that they can see, I got a gold star card, or. But that's where we're going with that. So we've finally done all the deals and everything.
Okay. And have you got a price point?
Yeah,
or is still working out the finer kinks?
It's going to be cheap.
Good.
It's going to be cheap, and it will be in the range of $10 to $15.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to it. I've got a couple of cards. I think we briefly touched off air about this, and I went and bought at the Hobby Hangout when it was earlier in the year. Yeah. I bought the LeBron Tribute Dunk Prism card, right? Yeah. I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan, and I'm like, yep, the LeBron Tribute, something I want in my cabinet. I'm not going to get that graded.
Yeah.
But a lot of my other Kobe's in the cabinet are graded. Mm-hmm. So why not get a card encapsulated so that it fits with the rest of the display? And I think displaying cards, people are very careful about how they display their collections these days. Yeah. So I think it's a good thing. There's sort of value in it for collectors as well as the young ones that do want just a novelty slab. So I think it's the kind of product that will be interesting and received well in the community.
Yeah. I actually wonder how it will go.
Yeah.
Now that you start to see prices come down. So PSA is down at 18 US.
Yeah.
And if that keeps falling, then it might go, well, why would I do that? I'll just get it graded.
For an extra $10 or $15, I'll get it graded with PSA.
Yeah,
that's true.
If the price does keep coming down, it's hard to say in these times if prices will keep going down or not, because everything else is going up.
Well, it's also something you do locally versus internationally. So there's exchange rates to factor in and things like that. Just because something's $20 US, you're competing with something that's $15 Australian. So there is a difference there still.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
You've got 150-day turnaround time, or you've got a 2-day turnaround.
Yeah, exactly.
And particularly for people who are budget conscious, like the group of people you're talking about with kids, I think that's a very clever thing to do. I think my angle on this is, so the two reasons why I would get my card encapsulated is to protect the card. Mm-hmm. And the things that I'm looking to protect it from is UV light.
Yep.
And also the thing that is probably on my mind, what I would worry about having my card treated in this way is, will it be protected from condensation? Because sometimes in the graded slabs you can actually see the condensation sort of sitting either between the sleeve and the actual slab, or sometimes I wonder if it's actually it's actually on the card and sort of between the sleeves. So are the slabs, are they protected from UV? So let me rephrase that question. Will the slab protect your card from UV light? And also, I'm totally out on crazy street when I'm asking this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. When you close the slab, is it almost airtight, or is it just more like a click together? How does that work?
Oh, it's not. No, it's not a click together.
It's a proper slab process.
Yeah. So
are they airtight though?
Yeah. So I know the one that you're talking about, because you can purchase slabs without the machinery.
You literally just go on eBay and buy them, yeah.
Yeah, you can buy the slabs, and then you can put your card in it and press it down.
Yeah.
And kind of snap it together, or I don't know if they glue it or not.
Yeah.
No, this is a 100-kilo machine.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And we've had the mold made for the slab, so you put the slab down. But it seals it, sonically seals it, so you can't you can bust it open, but in the normal way that you would usually crack a slab.
Yeah, sure.
That's the only way that you would get it open.
Yeah.
But no, it's not. it's not sealed together with your hands, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, well,
it's not like a glorified one touch. Yeah,
it's not a glorified one touch. So,
but I'm asking, like, is it possible? Will it protect it from condensation? Like, do you know where I'm sort of getting to with that?
How does the condensation get in there? I've seen it a couple of times.
I don't know. I would assume it's in people that live in high humidity areas and they don't have their cards in a temperature controlled environment. We did a bit of a discussion about this earlier on when we did the pod, and I've basically gone all in now. I've got all my boxes filled up with those little satchels that absorb moisture,
the silicone pouch things that suck in them to keep the
pretty
moisture,
much just put the word out to my friends that I know do a bit of internet shopping. Can you please keep them for me? And they've been given to me also. All my boxes now are just filled up with those. Whether that's going to make a difference or not, I honestly I'm not sure. Yeah.
I know that some cards, sometimes if you press on the front of the card, like if it's a glossy card, you can,
like an optic card.
Yeah, like you could see it does look like condensation, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's just the gloss. Because I've actually had people say, "What is this? I think something's wrong." And you take it back to PSA, and they've got some name for it. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they usually just reject it and go, "No, that's this issue. It's normal."
Yeah.
So no, I haven't actually seen anything with condensation in the card.
Okay.
I've experienced, anyway.
I mean, talking about probability, it's low.
It would be pretty low, I would say. And if it's sealed properly, it should be extremely low. But yeah, I don't know.
UV protection?
Well, that will come down to the plastic. I don't know.
I'm putting you on the spot. That's okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about this later? Yeah, let's talk about this later because.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll check. I'll check exactly.
Yep. Great. Tell us about your trade day that you had recently. How did that go?
That actually went pretty well. I couldn't even tell you how many people were there. I was behind the counter, behind our table. The mall was full. There were a couple of footy players there signing autographs today.
Oh, this was in conjunction with the other basketball shop in Adelaide, wasn't it? What's the name of that shop?
Sports Card World.
That's right. Yeah.
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 So I kind of rocked up there to a full hall, and it went really well. And the main purpose of the day was collecting submissions. So it was people coming out and bringing their cards and submitting them for grading to get sent off.
Wonderful.
It was initially going to be for SGC, and because our SGC due date is tomorrow, so there was some SGC stuff coming through. But because the announcement of PSA this week dropping their price, it was just an influx of people bringing in cards to get sent to PSA in the end.
PSA grading, yeah.
Yeah. So that went pretty well. We sold a few cards, but really didn't take much with us to sell.
Yeah.
Only because we knew that most people will be coming to us to drop cards off.
You're going to be so busy just doing submissions. Yeah, that's
the submissions.
Yeah.
Now, I'm hoping I'm segueing right through this trade day into something else we discussed pre-show. I believe there's a service that you provide with the submission process if you want to sell your cards. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. So if you've graded your cards with us, one of the steps in the process is if you want to see the grade of your card, you can reveal the grade directly on our site.
Yep.
You hit the reveal grade button and it will tell you the grade of the card. And at that point, if you decide that you want to sell the card, you'll see the sell button right next to the grade button. You can just hit that button, sell, and whack in the price you want to sell your card for.
Yep.
and that's it. And it'll get listed on our site. We'll load the pictures on of your card. We'll share it on our social media.
Yep.
It'll tell you all the detail that you need, in terms of selling the card with us.
Yeah.
And then we'll take care of the rest.
Oh, that's...
So, yeah, it's pretty...
That's impressive.
The idea is just to make selling a card easier than it currently is.
Yeah. And is there any additional charge or fee or anything for?
Yeah, there is. And when you do push the button, it'll tell you all the charges. So a couple of the standout points are, we'd like to keep your card for 90 days. We'd like you to give us 90 days to sell the card.
Yep.
After that, if you're like, I don't really want to sell anymore, can you give it back? No worries. Or can you try again? Can you lower the price? Or can you increase the price? You've got options to either take the card or keep listing it, or ask us to put it on, an external auction house or something like, pardon me, like that. Yeah. And we take 6% of the sale.
Interesting.
But,
that just sounds like it. It sounds like a fabulous, additional service. It's something that I hadn't heard with previous stores. Not that I deal with a lot with regards to sending submissions off, but I think it's a great idea. It's very innovative to be find out your grade. Yep. Happy with it, not happy with it. Oh, that was a great grade. That graded better than I thought. I want to try and flip it. So bang, click the button, and we're already in the process. I think
you're already in the process. So you set the price.
Yep.
You might want to sell it for $200. You just whack in $200.
Can I click the button before I know the grade?
No.
And mess with people?
No.
Oh, damn it.
I was actually just about to ask you that, because I didn't find my grades out. I did that. I didn't know my grades until I opened them out of the box. So in a scenario...
I would like to sell grade unseen.
So in a scenario like that, I'd have to know what my grade is before I sold it. Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah.
So any card that you've graded with us in the past, they're actually all set up in your account to sell. So if you've had cards with us that you've graded over the last couple of years and you're like, I wouldn't mind moving these ones, you can just log back into your account and hit sell and set a price, and that's it.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Yeah, and
it facilitates the process very, very well. Like, for a small fee, you get the peace of mind of putting the card out there for sale. Yeah. And we all know the pain and suffering that comes into selling stuff.
It can be pretty painful, and the beauty about it is, if you've listed your card and you happen to come across someone that wants the card or wants to buy the card, you don't really want to deal with them or do all the back and forth. You can just go, here's a link. You can purchase it off of there, and then we take care of the rest.
Nice.
With them.
Nice. No, I think it's a great additional service, and
there are some time wasters out there.
So you can handball those guys over to us.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't have to worry. And then all you get is the final payout.
That's it. That's it. Trouble free, hassle free.
Yeah.
You guys can deal with the is it available ghost.
Yeah.
Hobby hangout in Melbourne, August 21st. Yes. I have a little bit of personal news for this. I will be there breaking. I've been invited. I feel very, very privileged about this. So I'm going to be there with Alvaro, and I'm going to be there with John Williams, and that's part of the Fast Break basketball card group with them. So thank you very much, lads. Honestly, I'm honored to be there with you, and I can't wait to be there with you guys. So I'll definitely be there on the day. Please come by the table and, say hello to us.
Yeah.
I'll be doing I'll be representing, obviously, John's table and Alvaro's table, but I'll be representing USSCA, and I'll also be representing the podcast too. So can't wait to, have a bit of a chat with people.
I'll probably get a ticket and come down and do some stuff as well.
You should, mate. You should. I want to do a live break on the day, so I just have to work out, the mechanics of that.
I'm so going to photobomb that stuff. I'll go live and do some.
I might get security to come by when I'm going to do the break in that case. Anyway, very early thoughts. I actually thought I'd sort of sell the tickets on the day for the break, and then actually break it there and pack guys' cards up and give them to them on the day.
Ambitious.
See how
I like
goes.
it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So I can't wait. August 21st, that's in Melbourne. I'm just really, really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more stories to get through. We're at an hour 8 already, lads. Do you think we can get through these last 2 stories?
Can we smash it?
I think we can smash it. So this one is a...
I was going to say, one of them, do we want to smash? Or actually, no, you can break that down. You're quicker than me. I'll take an hour on a deep dive. Yep.
Not a deep dive. So this is from Card Purchaser on Twitter. They basically brought this story forward.
Yep.
It's about Chet Holgrem, which if you have been watching Summer League, he's just been doing some really exciting stuff.
Tearing
He's
it up.
Built like a pencil, but super exciting, and talks a whole lot of trash too. So basically people who were selling his autographs on eBay, their listings were being taken down. They were giving like a cease and desist letter, basically. So when they were asking more questions about this, what was going on, they were basically told that they didn't own the intellectual rights to it anymore.
Oh, wow.
Which is a weird thing, considering that you own the card. So when there's a few more screenshots that have basically come to light on this, and basically his Chet's manager has advised him to tear his contract up with Topps. So now all the cards essentially don't belong to Topps anymore. They intellectually belong to Chet. And I hope I'm getting this story right now. It seems very legally complicated, and also a very strange thing, considering you would think that it's a licensed product and you own the...
I think Chet's agent needs to go out and actually do his job properly. But anyway.
Well, I actually wonder though too, is if he signed a contract with Topps and actually he wants him to sign with Panini, which is, I would assume, where the real money's going to be in the next couple of years. That's my tinfoil hat take on this situation. So I suppose, where do you go from this? You just sell it on a unregulated site. So for example, you would sell it on Facebook sites, or you would razz it on a royalty card page site, something like this. Any thoughts on this, lads?
I've just been reading it, and I'm just like, it stinks of like spam, like someone pretending to be an agent for him, but like it feels so far-fetched.
Well, actually, what it reminds me of is the LaMelo Ball situation, because if you remember, he signed all of his college stuff.
Yeah.
And his argument why he never signed pro stuff for 6 months he held out.
Yeah.
He argued that his contract was for college product only, and that his contract never included the rate or the fee or the volume for pro stuff. So when they sent him the 12,000 autographs that he needed to get done, he basically just held out and just never did them.
Said, I don't have to do this, not part of the contract.
Yeah, and look, he's definitely signing some stuff now, but he has definitely not fulfilled, his entire
obligation
allotment. Yeah, and a lot of that stuff now is white box redemptions, which is coming thick and fast at the moment via Emily. Kahlil, you look a bit perplexed there, mate. What's your thoughts on this?
I don't understand what's going on here.
It's a weird situation, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm reading I was reading the tweet and reading the screenshots, but I'm not. Yeah. It's not making any sense to me.
That's okay. Let's leave it at that. It's a quick soundbite. So let's go from one weird situation to another weird situation.
Is it weird though?
It's very weird. The Minnesota Timberwolves received Rudy Gobert. The Utah Jazz received Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Leonardo Bolmaro, Walker Kessler, number 22 pick in the draft, Jared Vanderbilt, who I'm super high on. Now, this is the part where I need to take a very deep breath. 2023 first round pick, 2025 first round pick, 2026 pick swap, 2027 first round pick, and 2029 first round pick. I mean, that is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard for Rudy Gobert.
I was going to say, are they getting Kevin Durant?
So if that's what you get for Gobert, what do you get for... What do you get for Kevin Durant? Yeah.
Well, you see, how many other players are on the roster? They've got the 2028 first round pick they could give up. 2030, they could do that. They can add another 5. Yeah, this is paying overs. Just paying overs. Like Beasley, Beverly, like the players, it doesn't bother me, but
yeah,
the Timberwolves have gone all in. They've pushed all of their chips in.
Literally, they've pushed all of their chips in. I don't think they can actually legally put any more draft assets forward.
They're like, this is our shot for the next, literally for the better part of a decade.
You can't trade consecutive first round picks. So that's why it's 23, 25,
and
27, 29.
And that's why the 26 are pick swap. They could put a couple more pick swaps in, I guess.
Yeah. But essentially, you're still losing your first round pick. So, if this goes pear-shaped, Hang
on. Who are we talking about? This is the Minnesota Timberwolves we're talking about. When this goes pear-shaped...
I think there's an element of risk of putting Gobert with Towns. I don't think that's controversial to say that. That's not a sure thing that's going to work.
It's such an all your eggs in one basket play.
Yeah. And is that the best play you could have gotten for that draft package?
All they've really got left is trading off D'Angelo Russell, isn't it? That's the only thing up their sleeve.
I don't think you could move him on. I mean, you would have to put a draft asset with Russell, I think, to move him.
It's tough, isn't it?
Maybe they could do a 2024 pick swap. That would be about
2035.
Kahlil, what's your thoughts on this, mate? Who won the trade?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, that's even better. Just who do you think won it then?
I don't know. Who's in the trade?
It's literally Rudy Gobert for a bucket load of stuff.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert. I don't know.
Patrick Beverley. Do you reckon the Jazz are going to keep
names before?
That's the thing. The players aren't the thing. They're giving away 4 first round picks and a swap. So the equivalent of 5 picks.
It's 5 picks, man.
They got Walker Kessler, right? So that's already a pick.
Yeah, well, that's 6 picks, really.
Yeah, that's a first round pick, yeah?
Yeah.
So literally 6 first round picks.
Vanderbilt was a first round pick.
And that's good.
Well, so where the Wolves struggled last year was defensively, and they struggled on the board. So he'll come in and
he'll
fix those. Well, he'll fix those 2 things immediately. Like as soon as he walks onto the court, that's solved. But the question is how good will they be? And
if there's any dissatisfaction amongst this group, they're screwed.
The cup half full perspective on this is that because Rudy Gobert is not.
If young. They traded this for Rudy Gay, there's an issue.
However, Ant-Man and Towns are still relatively young, so the hope or the thought is that the worst case scenario, they're sort of like a 6, 7, 8 seed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, that's a lot, and I just feel like for that much expenditure, you could have gotten a lot more back. But
for sure,
yeah,
that's crazy. I think it is an excessive amount of assets to give up. Yep. Look, it's future picks. They could be late first rounders. They could be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they definitely could be.
They can
but I think
win the trade.
Well, that's
If Minnesota wins a championship in the next 8 years, they win the trade, right?
But do you think? Okay, so let's take that viewpoint. Do you think they can win a championship with Ant-Man, Gobert, and Towns
and Russell?
Okay, sure, and Russell
without Patrick Beverley.
Realistically.
No.
Yeah. And so for me, that's why I don't think this risk is worth it. Because if you then give up a number 1 overall pick, or you give up a number 1 and a number 5, and you haven't won a chip, it's like, well,
it's tough. And they've given up draft assets, which is the biggest problem, right? We don't know what Ant-Man's going to be. He's shown a lot of positives, but it's a big ask.
You can be high on him, and you can be safe with that. I think he's going to be a really, really good NBA player.
But I just, yeah. I feel like they've sold the farm early, and it's I don't know. Do you think Utah would have come to the party for less?
I actually think they would have come to the party for, say, 1 pick, maybe 2, because getting off his contract.
I want to know, who the brains trust that I'll put this package together.
Well, Danny Ainge.
But why?
This is his work. This is exactly Danny Ainge's.
This is what
That's his MO.
This reeks of Ainge, yeah. Oh, well.
Congratulations to Ainge. Yeah.
Well done, Utah. You've got some picks.
Rightio, lads. Final thoughts. What have we got?
Final thoughts on this?
On the show.
Oh, I was going to say, final thoughts are good luck, Minnesota. Welcome to losing again. Yeah, they'll be almost getting there. Anyway, no, that was an informative show. I think it was really good. I'm gonna have to get some stuff together, see if I've got anything grade worthy to get this PSA submission going.
Oh, it doesn't need to be grade worthy.
I want it to be grade worthy. What have I got lying around? I've got a shot. No, I'm not going to even just start turning around.
No, thanks for coming on, Kahlil, and thanks for all your supporting our podcast.
No.
We're very grateful.
Yeah, really appreciate it. I'm
too.
just super glad that I got to hang out this time.
Yeah, because we missed last time. Hopefully, we'll do it again. Thank you guys very much. And yeah, it's the same. I really appreciate your support as well.
Great.
And if you want to send some cards over, send them over.
Yeah, we'll send some cards over, and hopefully, if you're free in August, come. And
I have literally have a box to submit. Yeah, and if you come down to Melbourne, mate, definitely.
Oh yeah, okay.
And grab a spot in the break, one of Russell's breaks, and then we'll sabotage it.
All right.
We'll hijack
I'm actually going to get security.
We will hijack his break.
I'm going to point you out to security, Adam. Be like, this guy here's been harassing me.
Do you have to be at the hangout for the break? Yeah,
Probably.
Gonna be a live break there.
Yeah, it's going to be a live break.
My dream is
live. No 5-second delay. You're screwed.
Yeah, people actually will come to the table and like buy a ticket. That's my dream. We'll see what happens.
All right.
I'm going to come with my Regulate the Hobby t-shirt. Start a protest behind your break. No, I won't do that.
That's pretty funny. A Regulate the Hobby t-shirt.
That's it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much. Have a lovely week. And thanks, everyone, for listening. Take care of yourselves.